Hi everyone, I hope you're safe, I hope you're well. You join me in a very, very flowery part of the allotment today for today's episode. I cannot believe we are up to episode 15 already. Time has gone so quickly. First of all, I just wanted to say thank you to those of you who have subscribed to my channel this week or left me a comment or sent me a message on Instagram. It's really, really appreciated, and it's set my mood for the week, that's for sure. Your comments have been awesome. I have had a couple telling me this week that you've got a glut of pumpkins or loads of squash or a load of beetroot, and basically you guys don't know what to do with it. So before I get into this week's episode, I just want to say thank you. Yeah, your comments have been great and they've really, really cheered me up. And yeah, just lovely. So I'm happy this week and I am really grateful for all the nice things you guys have had to say. So bearing in mind the messages I've received this week, you guys want to know what to do with squashes, and I think I had some about carrots and beetroot, just saying you've got so many of them and you don't know what to make. So this week I am going to do a really versatile recipe and do a veggie tray bake that you can serve with pretty much any meal and make it up of any veggies that you have on your plot. So what I'm going to do is basically show you around some of the allotment today and harvest some of the veggies I'm going to use in my tray bake. So I will probably pick some carrots and beetroot. I think I might have one courgette left, borderline marrow, depending on how big it is, still left to pick before the end of that sort of plant's life, before it needs digging up. I might chuck potatoes in as well, you know me, carb lover over here, so I may chuck some potatoes in. I've got onions drying and I've got garlic too, so it is going to be just a mash of all the veggies that I've got left. So I'm not going to touch my big pumpkins yet, I am going to save them for Halloween, sorry for the disappointment. I have got some squashes as well. If I've got time, I'll show you around the squash patch. Last year I had a butternut that was just under 5 kilos in weight, and I've got some this year that look like they're going to be around the same. So if I have time, I'll quickly show you around the squash patch. If not, I promise I'll show you it in next week's allotment video. So without further ado, I'm just going to get to it. I'm going to show you how to harvest some of the vegetables I'm going to be using today, give you a look at the vegetables that I'll be digging up, and then we'll head to the kitchen and get on with the recipe. But yeah, I just wanted to say again, thank you everyone for your awesome feedback. I really, really appreciate it. And yeah, you've made my day. Cue the untimely wind. Yeah, let's get to it. Okay, for those of you who watch my videos quite regularly, you can see here is my beetroot patch, or what is left of it. Obviously I have been harvesting beetroot throughout the year, and this is what I've got left. You can obviously see as well some of the beetroot have different coloured leaves, and that's because it's a variety of beetroot that is basically 4 different colours. So some of the beetroot are a really dark red or purple, and some of the beetroot are a lot lighter in colour, and there's even some that are yellow. So that explains the difference in colour. But what I'm going to do now is, it shouldn't be very difficult, because this bit of ground in particular I weed frequently, so it should be quite easy to pull the beetroot up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for the 2 biggest beetroot that you can see in front of the camera now, and I'm just going to lift them from the ground. I tend to just give them a wiggle. There we go, that easy. And up they come. Just don't leave beetroot too long, as they do go really, really woody. This is even probably a little bit too big. But yeah, it's good to go. This one, however, putting up more of a fight. There we are. So as you can see, these two beetroot, well, they're beautiful, totally different colours. So hopefully we're going to get a purple and we're going to get a red. Obviously we'll see what they're like when we get home. Okay, so next I'm going to just dig up a couple of carrots. Like the beetroot, I have got Harlequin carrots this year, so they are all different colours. So I'm just going to dig a couple of those up. Carrots are a bit of a challenge to get out of the ground usually. They like to put up a bit of a fight, so I'll see how I get on. If anyone has any good carrot pulling tips, I'd appreciate it. And that's the weirdest shaped carrot I've ever seen. Check that out. You won't get that in Morrison's. They'll probably put it in the bin. I think that's awesome. Right, so that's the beetroot and the carrots in hand. Last but not least, I'm going to pick a courgette. I have had a quick look. It is going to be more like a marrow, not a courgette. I'll just pan down so you can see. It's just here. So the best way to take off a courgette, or in this case a marrow, is just to twist it off as close to the plant as you can. So obviously you can see there's a lot of weeds, but they're about ready to be dug up now for the winter. So I'm going to get this off and add it to the pile. There we have it. It's very muddy and definitely more like a marrow. Okay, and there we have it. So I've got my courgette, my carrots, my beetroot. I picked onions in the last video last week, so if you watch that you will be able to see where those are coming from. I've also got a few potatoes in there, so I'll probably take some of those home too, and I've got some garlic that has been drying out in the polytunnel. So I'll grab all of that, then head home and we can start this week's recipe. Okay guys, so I am home with all my veg that I picked up at the allotment. So I've given it all a good wash. It's all nice and clean now. And what I'm going to do is start peeling it and chopping it ready to go into the Veggie Traybake. I'm also going to preheat the oven to 180 degrees Celsius and just get to it really. It does need to cook for a long while, being root vegetables. So about 50 minutes in the oven. So I'm going to cut the chunks quite big, else they go, they shrivel and, they're just not the best. So what I'll do is I'll get all of the veg peeled, chopped and prepared, and then we'll take it from there. as you can see, here are all my veggies prepared and chopped into chunky slices. When I cut into the marrow or the courgette, I wasn't happy with how it looked or how the knife went into it. It just wasn't soft enough for my liking, so I decided to leave it out. But there's only 2 of us tonight for dinner, so this should be more than enough. Obviously, there's plenty of heritage carrots, different varieties of beetroot, red onion and some garlic. So now I'm going to show you what to do with them before they go in the oven. Okay, so first of all, I've just started to put a bit of oil in the tray. I'm just going to put a tiny bit more in. You only want to sort of drizzle the oil in. You don't want to go too mad. I mean, you do want to give the vegetables a coating, don't get me wrong, else they'll go very dry, but you don't want to overload them so they're greasy. They still want to be nice and fresh. Okay, so I'm going to start with the carrots because there's most of them. I'm going to put them in the bottom, and just sort of everything can just be spread around. It is a very rustic dinner, if you like. There's no neatness to it, there's no sort of organisation, just chuck it in, fill your tray basically. With the garlic, I've been advised to drop them in just in full cloves, which surprised me. I love garlic, and I would have crushed it, but I was advised otherwise. I've just dropped a bit of onion on the floor. Also, I have chosen not to put my potatoes into the tray bake. As a massive potato lover, I like my potatoes to be fluffy and just inside I want them to be chunky and fluffy. I'm not the sort of potato person that likes my potatoes crispy. I like my potatoes to have a lot of body to them, so I tend not to put them in a tray bake. I will be serving potatoes on the side. I will be having the potatoes with the veggie tray bake, and I'll probably have a piece of fish as well. But I think that's enough. I don't want to go absolutely mad. Like I say, it will take about an hour, 50 minutes to an hour to cook. So yeah, I don't want to go too mad. So what I'm going to do now, and this is entirely up to you how you do it and your choice of flavours. I'm going to salt and pepper it, obviously. I'm going to season it a little. I'm going to put some more oil on, but then not a lot of oil. But then what I am going to do is I'm going to put some honey over the vegetables. I like them honeyed. You could also use balsamic vinegar. I have flavoured balsamic vinegars, which are quite good. And then I'm going to put some herbs on there as well. So I'm going to use a little bit of rosemary, which I'm just going to sprinkle over the top. She says sprinkle, this would probably go quite wrong. There we are. That actually was okay. And then the final thing, apart from the salt and pepper, which I'll get out of the cupboard shortly, is just a little bit of parsley. Again, totally down to your taste. But yeah, just do what you feel is best. So I'm just going to give them a quick rub with my hands, and then that is going to go in the oven at 180 degrees for around 50 minutes. So I'll just give it a quick mix up now, and then I'll show you what it's like when it comes out of the oven. Well guys, that is it from me this week. The tray bake was absolutely delicious and I really enjoyed it. Bit of a bizarre feeling though, coming out to film the closing section of my episode to see that I've had to put the lights on because it's already dark. It is only about 6:45 in the evening, and it really is starting to get quite dark out there now. So a sign that summer has well and truly gone. However, that does mean we have the new challenges that autumn brings for the allotment, and a lot more footage to come. I have moved the composters now. For those of you who watched my earlier videos, you'll know that I got held up doing that. If you haven't checked out that video, it really is worth a watch. But they are moved. There are no residents there anymore, I'll put it that way. And I promise I'll show you the squash patch in next week's episode as well. As always, guys, thanks for taking the time to watch my videos. If you do use Facebook and Instagram, I will leave my links above for you. And if you really enjoyed this episode, then please feel free to give me a like, or you can always subscribe to my channel. But as always, please look after each other, keep safe, and I'll see you all in next week's episode.